as we gather here today for this important announcement, which I'll come to in just a second. But before I do that, I'm also here today and will be for the first time chairing the National Cabinet from right here in the Hunter. So that's a first for the Hunter, and I'm pleased that able to have the facilities here to do that today. Obviously, at National Cabinet, there will be some important matters discussed. Yesterday, the National Security Committee of the Federal Cabinet met to consider the restoration of repatriation flights after the 15th of May. We received advice from the Chief Medical Officer, who is here with me today, and a couple of points I need to make. First of all, the pause that we put in place for travellers coming back from India is working. Medical advice we have and the evidence that we have in our quarantine facilities, in particular up in the Northern Territory, is showing that the number of cases there is moving back to more manageable levels and will be at a level by the 15th of May to ensure that, as planned, we will be able to return to having those repatriation flights from India from the 15th of May. There will be no change to the biosecurity orders that we have put in place, which were put in place to run till the 15th of May. That biosecurity order is working as it was intended to, and that will remain in place with no change until the 15th of May. National Security Committee of Cabinet has confirmed that it will have done its job by then, and as a result, we see no need to extend it beyond that date. So the original decision to put in place that biosecurity order until the 15th of May has proved very effective, and it will run its full course until that time without any change. What we will be doing is receiving our first repatriation flight into the Northern Territory as part of the charter arrangements that we have with our airlines to bring back those first people from India at that time. There will be 3 flights we envisage in the course of May going into the Northern Territory, bringing back the most urgent of cases, as that's worked through by our High Commissioner and our consular officials in India. We have some 900 people listed as vulnerable as part of the group that we have got registered in India, and our charter flights will be focusing on them. In addition, there will be rapid antigen testing put in place for everyone getting onto those flights. The challenge we've had in terms of previous arrivals out of India has been the higher incidence of infection that we were seeing in those arrivals and the stress that that was placing on the quarantine system, whether at the National Resilience Facility that we fund to the tune of some $500 million up in the Northern Territory, or elsewhere around the country. So I'll be advising the Premiers and Chief Ministers of that decision this morning, and then we'll be working on the many other matters that we need to attend to. The government has made no decision yet on the restarting of normal commercial flights from India. We will take further advice on that next week. I will consult with the Premiers and Chief Ministers today as part of that National Cabinet meeting, and the National Security Committee of Cabinet will consider those matters further next week and in the weeks ahead. But what's important is that the biosecurity order that we have put in place has been highly effective. It's doing the job that we needed it to do, and that was to ensure that we could do everything we can to prevent a third wave of COVID-19 here in Australia, but also to ensure that we can put ourselves in a stronger position to bring Australian citizens, Australian residents and their direct families home safely to Australia. This has put us on a much stronger footing to do that in a sustainable way. And so other matters we will discuss with the National Cabinet today. But here in Newcastle, it's an exciting day. It's great to be back in the Hunter. $66 million will be announced in the budget on Tuesday night by the Treasurer to invest in widening the runway here and various other works here at Newcastle Airport to ensure that we can take larger flights here in Newcastle, and we can back in the future of the Hunter for the considerable potential that this region has. This decision will see works subject to it going through the normal parliamentary processes starting in August and completing in 2022. What this will mean is jobs. We're advised by Newcastle Airport that some 4,400 jobs, half of them in the tourism industry alone, others reaching out across the region here in the Hunter and more broadly. And what is exciting about this project is our commitment to it backs in what I know is the great level of confidence and belief about where the Hunter is going. This is part of our plan to support the Hunter region, realise its potential. We are seeing jobs here in the Hunter. This will add more jobs in the Hunter, and this will be the backup that is needed for the commercial side of the industry, the commercial side of the region, to really realise its potential. I particularly want to thank the Deputy Prime Minister, Michael McCormack, for his leadership on this project. And I want to thank Michael, we were talking to Penguin Air here before, for the great Pelican Air here before, for the great work that they have done in keeping their pilots, their crews and everyone in jobs. And that's been supported by the facilitation program that the Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack put into place. So I want to acknowledge his leadership here today, his support for this project and his broader support for the aviation industry that has kept planes in the sky, which means we've been able to keep jobs on the ground out across the COVID pandemic, as we will going into the future. It's a 7.5 metre extension on either side of the runway, just to give you the details. It will allow twin-aisle planes to land, such as the Boeing 787, the Boeing 777, the Airbus A350. These aircraft can carry between 251 and 382 people. The runway works will maximise the benefits of works already completed to the terminal to upgrade the international arrivals and departure processing facility. We have also committed some $3.8 billion, I should say more broadly, to supports in the aviation sector since March of 2020. This will also support the works that are underway here and the projects and programs that have been run in our defence industry, here with the F-35s and other operations at Williamtown. So this is a win-win-win. It's a win for the commercial aviation industry, it's a win for the Hunter, and it's a win for the defence operations that we run here from the Hunter.